Ta-da! We have arrived. Welcome back to another class with the Fitness Alchemists. Today we're going to be getting after the groin and inner thigh tissues with a position that we have nicknamed Quadra Frog, which is a hybrid of quadruped and frog. If you're familiar with those base positions, we're going whoop and we're making a new jam. For props today, your couch will be your best friend if you're working from home, or any similar, like very sturdy, elevated surface. The height is not that important. We'll show you how to judge your setup for various heights so that you find the line of tension that's right for you to work with. So that's not as big of a deal. We're going to use this as our makeshift couch, and then later we're going to use a slightly different prop just so that we can give y'all a better camera angle on the setup. But know that we're still using the couch. And then if you have a pencil or pen, that's also a handy prop, but totally optional. You can work with an imaginary pen just as well. What else? Yeah, this is gonna be fun. So we're gonna get into a side-lying hip cars position, just your average, basic, comfortable one. And you can fold up your bottom arm as a pillow, or you can grab a block or throw a pillow for yourself there. For today, we're gonna work for time, and we're gonna tick-tock our directions back and forth, and then otherwise I'll just be throwing out some cues for you to think about as you move. So find that comfortable bend in your knees, get yourself some good intra-abdominal pressure and brace built up, nice tension strategy for the upper body. When you feel ready, begin by pulling your knee towards your chest, getting as much hip flexion as that hip's going to give you, then pushing your leg up towards the ceiling. This is the position we're really going to workshop today. Rotating into internal rotation and kicking back, finding as much hip extension as you can, and then coming down. Once you match those thighs, go ahead and reverse direction. Push back. Lift that whole leg up, knee and ankle rising together. Start coming around the corner, pulling your knee towards your shoulder, and then come on down. Nice. Keep working, you're on the clock here, tick-tocking back and forth. I want you to find your 1 mile per hour pace, and just pay special attention to the places where your thigh bones are far apart from each other. What notes can you make about how that area or section of the hip car feels for you? We're going to retest this at the end, and I'll be curious to see how things feel different once we've done some of our Quadra Frog. Good. Last 10 seconds, can you batten down the hatches on your bracing strategy and try to unlock a little bit more freedom for that hip, and or more clarity of what's contracting and what's stretching as you're scraping the outer limits of your hip range of motion here. 3, 2, 1, wherever you are in the hip car, just let that relax. Go ahead and switch on over to your other side. Zing. Very smooth transition, Will. Bonus points for you. Sprinkle. All right, set yourself up. Good brace through the midsection, strong upper body to send strength and help to that hip. When you feel ready, begin. Pulling that knee towards your chest, pushing the thigh bones apart, wringing out as much internal rotation as you can get. We're going to workshop that here in a second. And then coming down and around until the thighs touch. Once you get to that point, reverse. Kick back, lift up, knee and ankle coming up towards the ceiling. And then pull that kneecap towards your cheek of your face. Very important distinction there. Keep tick-tocking back and forth. You've got about 25 seconds left. And again, I'm going to invite you to explore and notice what sensations are available, either tightness and stretching or contraction and engagement in those places where your thighs are as far apart from each other as they can be. What's going on in that zone? Good. Last 10 seconds. Double down on that bracing strategy. See if you can unlock a little more aliveness at your end ranges, or maybe even a little bit more range. Either one is a win. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have you now set up so that you're facing your couch. I'm gonna have Will show you 1 rep so he's facing you, so you get a clear picture of what we're doing here, and then we'll get into the setup together. So you're gonna have both knees bent, just like you would if we were doing that same hip car. We're gonna workshop that piece where the knees are apart from each other, and then we're driving our internal rotation. So you're gonna push your thigh bones apart, don't do it yet. You're gonna try to maintain all that space, and then you're gonna bias as much internal rotation as you can get from that hip, and then unwind it. We're just gonna go back and forth with that rotation and unwind, trying not to lose any of that space. So to help you with that, because you won't have me with my hand right under your knee, you're gonna face your couch, set yourself up facing your couch, so that your knees are real close there. And if it's comfortable here, you can set your knee right on top of the edge of that couch. You might have to slide your other leg back more, so it's not exactly in line with your other leg, and that's totally fine. Spot check here that your belt buckle is staring straight ahead at the couch. The cheat that will want to happen here to help your body feel like you have more hip abduction than you do is that your t-shirt and or belt buckle will try to roll towards the ceiling. So set yourself up there. Now, if you have the kind of couch where you can get your hands underneath it, I love that. So like Will could reach his top hand forward, and you can actually push up against the couch, which is a really nice bracing strategy. If you can't reach underneath it, you can still grab onto it or plant your hands down into the floor, something to really stabilize that upper body, and again, help you to keep your t-shirt logo and belt buckle facing towards the couch. All right, here we go. Deep breath in, create a good brace, hover that knee right up off the couch, and pause, and then come back down. Good. Now, if you could barely hover, perfect. If it was super impossible to lift off the couch, you're gonna let your belt buckle turn a little bit towards the ceiling so that you can get that baby hover, okay? All right, wherever you need to be, make your adjustments, and let's go again. Brace your midsection, brace your upper body, lift off, hold that baby lift from the couch, and rotate, twist as much as you can so that ankle comes up and away from the couch towards the ceiling, and then rewind back to your start position. You're on the clock here. Keep wringing out that twist, keeping your leg right up off that couch. It's okay if it scrapes and touches. We just don't want to be resting on the couch. You want to be holding up the weight of your own leg and really winding up as much of that rotation as you can get, and then placing it back down. The other cheat you might find here is that your hip will try to shorten towards your shoulder, scrunching that top waist. So try to keep that top waist long. Another option here would be to use your top hand as a tactile cue right on the waist, and Will is showing that now. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. So that should be waking up some tissue in the side butt, deep rotator stuff zone. All right, so set up for your other side. Bring your knee, shin, ankle right on the edge of the couch. Arrange your bottom legs so you feel sturdy. Make sure your belt buckle, t-shirt logo are facing towards that couch. And then choose what you want to do with your top hand. Holding on under the couch, monitoring your hip, a little bit of both, your choice. Deep breath in, create that good brace, lift off, and rotate. As much internal rotation as you can get, and then come back down. Keep rotating, ankle up towards the ceiling. And then as you come down, if your ankle touches the couch, you can press a little bit there. Might not be end range, definitely won't be end range external rotation for you from this position, but you can still get a little juice. It might be, yeah. If you're like me and Will in the difficult to externally rotate camp, this might feel real juicy. Almost there, gang. 7, 6, keep wringing out that rotation, coming to a complete stop. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Cool. We're going to use that move as a retest as well. So you'll get to feel how this next bit of work impacts your ability to control rotation in that wide knees apart position. All right, here it is, Quadra Frog. So we'll show how you're going to set up with the couch. And then we're gonna switch again to that other object so we can give you a better angle. So now you're gonna place your knee, your ankle, and your shin on the couch. And this is a place where you can decide how much of your knee you want on there. I want you to feel solid, like you could push down onto that couch with your top leg and apply some force down into the floor. So if you need to slide your actual knee joint a little further on and be a little further up the thigh, great, totally your choice. Okay, great. So we've essentially just flipped this situation around so that now Will's couch leg is facing towards you so that you can see what's going on. So the first thing we're gonna do here is locate our stretch through that groin tissue. So you can start hunting around. There are many variables for you to play with here. You can think about your pelvic angle in relation to your thigh bone, either lifting your tail feathers or tucking your tail under to see what you discover. It's worth saying that as you do these adjustments, you should go slow because sometimes you'll run into something that's like, whoa, mama, that's intense. So go slow as you explore. You can also play with shifting your booty back or forward such that your knee comes either to the side of your hip joint or slightly above your hip joint. All of that is fair game. And then of course the other variable to play with is how far away your thighs are, right? Or how close your pelvis is to the floor. So hunt around there, find a stretch through your inner thigh and or your sort of groin attachment area. Anywhere along there is fair game that feels good for you to work with. And just a word of caution here, I don't want you to be in such an intense stretch that you feel stressed or threatened. And that can happen in this area of the body. So back off to something that feels like, okay, I can breathe deeply and calmly in my belly through this stretch. And we're gonna do some PAILs and RAILs to start our way off. So for the PAILs, I'd like you to begin by just making your knee and your ankle a little bit heavier into the couch. Put 5 extra pounds on that scale if your couch was a scale, and feel equal at first. Now keep the knee pressing down at 5 pounds. Make that ankle weigh 10 extra pounds so that you're also biasing rotation. So you're pressing straight down and you're also thinking rotate down through the couch. So if it weren't in the way, you'd scoop towards external rotation. Keep that rotational and downward pressure alive and start to gradually ramp up to what feels like 50% of your maximum contraction. Take your time, build it up, keep breathing, and then slowly increase from 50% up to 80%. And as you do that, you're gonna feel this effort spreading into the rest of your body so that your midsection is working hard. Your other knee might feel like it's trying to scoop through the floor, like you're trying to close your thighs like a book, also trying to rotate and bury that ankle in the couch, and then ramp up from 80% to whatever feels like your greatest, safest effort for today. Go for it and hold there. Maintain. Can you send help from any other muscles? Could you squeeze your fists? Could you dig your elbow into the floor, your hand into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, stay in position, but slowly, gradually let all that effort drain away. As it starts to fade, notice how that stretching tissue feels. If it feels like it's relaxed a bit, you've been given some slack, you can adjust to take up that slack and sink a little bit more, or you can stay right where you are. See what feels, again, threat-free, very safe. Now we're gonna try to activate that rails tissue on the other side. So we're gonna think about bracing the midsection first. This is key. We wanna freeze frame, nothing moves. And then trying to make your ankle as light as you can. And then trying to make your knee as light as it can be. I don't expect a lift here because we're at that end range position, but what would make those things light such that you might feel something contracting on the top side of the joint, the side of your hip, side butt, all that fun stuff. If you can find a good contraction there, ramp it up to what feels like your greatest, safest effort, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly relax. If you didn't feel a clear contraction, don't worry, we're gonna get after it in just a second. Okay, so now we know where that end range is. We're gonna move in slightly from there. So I'm gonna have Will scooch his floor knee a little closer to the couch. He's gonna close in his hands a little bit, so we're raising his position. We're taking him slightly out of that end range angle so that we actually can get a little bitty lift off, yes? So let's try one together and then we'll make some adjustments if we need to. Brace your midsection, plant your hands firmly into the floor, gather some tension up through the shoulders, and then try to make your knee and ankle light such that you barely leave the couch and then come back down. Now, if you flew right up off that couch and it felt like, whoa, that was really easy, 2 things might be happening. 1, you might be turning your belt buckle with the lift. Show me one like that, Will. Whoa. So check that your belt buckle is facing the floor. Or 2, you might be way outside of your end range. Will got the tiniest little lift. You might not have even been able to see it, so we know he's in the perfect spot to work end range liftoffs. Also, I'm sorry. But if he was super close and it was super easy, I'd want to coach him to move the knee a little further away. You want at home to find that Goldilocks position where you're clearing off it feels like the hardest thing you've ever done. So this should feel like, we're gonna do 15 reps. It should feel like a max effort set of 15. And you should be lifting between like a credit card swipe and a finger swipe of lift, max. Cool? All right, gang, here we go. Plant those hands, brace the midsection, and lift off. 1, float back down, lift off. 2, float back down, lift off. 3, control the return. 4, brace all your other stuff. 5, you got this, team. 6, spot check that belt buckle looking at the floor. 7, good, pinch the floor with your hands. 8, send help, you got this, we're halfway. 9, 10, 5 more, finish strong. 5, good. 4, bury those hands in the ground, push hard. 3, good. It's okay if you start to not actually lift as long as you still feel the contraction. 1 more. And come on down. Woo! Nice work, Will. And range training feels like barely going anywhere and sweating your face off. Okay, so you're gonna switch to the other side. I'm gonna have Will turn face the other way so we can keep that leg pointing towards you. And we're gonna start this whole process over on the other side. It's really worth noting here, one of the reasons we like this position so much is that inner thigh stuff tends to be very different hip to hip. So if we only ever train traditional frog, where we're working bilaterally, we're not able to get as specific with the stretch that we want to train and the tissue that we want to train. So this one gives us a nice option to hunt around and find the line of tension that this hip needs versus your other hip. So again, I want to invite you to run through those same checks. Do I get a better stretch if I lift my tail feathers or if I scoop and tuck my tail under? Do I get a better stretch if I shift my body forward versus back? What distance do my knees need to be away from each other in order to facilitate the most interesting, juicy stretch through that leg that's on the couch? So once you find that, camp out, take a few breaths. Make sure your ankle, shin, and knee are on that firm surface so that you'll be able to get some downward pressure. And then arrange your hands and arms in the way that supports you the best. So you can come down to your forearms if you want. You can stay up on hands. Do what's right for you. All right, PAILs and rails. Here we go. Deep breath in, create some abdominal stability. Start pressing down gently, just 5 extra pounds on the scale with the knee and the ankle. Keep that pressure alive and then start to turn up the pressure of the ankle so that you're adding that rotational bias down into the couch. Ankle weighs 10 extra pounds, knee weighs 5 extra pounds. Stay with that at a low level until it feels clear to your body. Once you feel clear on what I'm asking you to do, those actions, down and rotate, then start to gradually ramp up to what feels like 50% of your total effort. So if 100% is your max, the most pressure you can push, slowly, gradually, volume dial your way up to 50%. Good. Nice. Keep breathing. Keep checking in with your midsection stability, and then start to ramp up to 80%. As you ramp up to 80%, you're going to feel that effort spilling into the rest of your body. So it's not just in the hip anymore. Maybe it's spilling into the other legs, spilling into the belly, spilling into the shoulders and chest and hands, and then ramp up to what feels like your greatest, safest effort. Trying to close the knees together like a book, trying to bury your ankle in the couch. Keep pushing. You've got it, team. Keep working. Whole body on tension. 5, come on, 4, 3, 2, stay in position. 1, slowly melt away that effort. Try to leave your bones where they are. Just let the muscles change. Take a deep breath. Reset your abdominal tension strategy. And then start to try to make your knee and your ankle light. They're not going to move, but again, if we think of the couch as a weight scale, can you make them weigh 0 pounds or as close to it as possible? Yes, good. Once you feel a clear contraction, and again, if you don't worry, we're going to get there. Start ramping that contraction up until you feel like you're giving it your greatest, safest effort, and hold. Maintain. 5, come on. 4, 3, light knee, light ankle. 2, 1, stay in position and slowly let that fade. Good, okay. Take a moment here to adjust your position slightly. You're gonna bring your floor knee a little closer to your couch knee so that you're no longer at end range. You can now get a little bit of lift. You can adjust your hand position. This is a good place to shake out your wrists if they need it as well. Okay, we're gonna do our 15 lift-offs, and we're gonna do, again, 1 tester. So brace the crap out of your body. Turn yourself into that muscly statue, and then see if you can make your knee and ankle light. And then gracefully set back down. Spot check. Did it lift a lot? Was it easy? Then you want to move that floor knee a little further away. Was it really hard and barely moved? Perfect. You're training in your end range, and that's what we want for you so that you can be strong and super resilient. All right. Lock it in. Brace your midsection. Strong upper body tension, and lift off. 1, parachute back down. 2, back down. 3, back down. 4, belt buckle staring straight at the floor. 5, good, keep reinvesting that midline tension. 6, 7, the lifts might start to get smaller at this point, that's okay. 8, you might not lift all the way off, but if you get a good contraction, you're winning. 9, come on. 10, you got this. Press into the floor, spread the earth with your hands. 11, 12, 13, 14, control that return. Last one, best one, come on. 15, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know exactly how those feel. Good, okay, so now some hip stuff is alive for sure. We are going to move now into our 90-90 position. So here's where your couch also can be a very helpful friend. You're gonna set up in your 90-90 such that your trailing leg is pointing away from the couch, which will then, I'll show from the side here, so we get double angle. Give you the option to lean away from your trailing leg. A lot of times this stuff can get really bunched up in that trailing leg position, and that's partly why we're doing all of this work today, so we can get after some better hip internal rotation situations.
We're gonna do the leg that we didn't just train, right?
Oh yes, good point. Will's looking out for you at home. So make certain that your trailing leg is the leg that you did not just train, the one that is feeling fresh and awesome and is not tired. If you've got that pencil, grab it now. We're going to make use of that. So we're going to now be doing a little hover. So the goal will be to get internal rotation first, try to get that ankle off the ground, then get the knee off the ground, And then we're gonna hover as though you're coming over that little pencil, tapping your knee to the floor just a touch and back. So you're gonna just do little touches on either side of your pencil. And the whole time, I want you to try to be keeping that rotation. So the thought you wanna have is your ankle is gonna be higher than your knee throughout this range of this little hover challenge. We're gonna work for time. We'll work for 30 seconds. And we'll do a little tester here, and we'll figure out where the torso needs to be. So if you're leaning slightly, great. Brace into that couch. See if you can rotate your ankle off the floor, and then see if you can get your knee to come up, and then bring it back down. If you could bring your knee up, but barely, again, you're in the right spot. If it was like a joke, be asking you to lift your knee off the floor, scoot your hips further away from the couch, lean your chest further away from that trailing leg. You want to find that perfect Goldilocks position for you. But Will was in a good one, so come on back. All right, get your setup here. And again, if you're on that couch, you can really like press down with your arm to strengthen. You can hold on with your other hand. As much tension and action as you can get in your upper body, the better this will go for your hip. This is one of those where it's really like that phone a friend of tightening the rest of your body helps. This is another great option, holding on to your lead ankle. Will can pull up and push down with his ankle. And again, these are just tension strategies to help you really turn up the amount of irradiation that's present in your system so that you can have lots of strength to train those hip tissues that we're about to work on. All right, enough procrastinating. Here we go. Deep breath in, pack that air down, get your upper body tension strategy, rotate that back heel off the ground, lift the knee with precision, bring it forward of your pencil or imaginary pencil, and touch lightly, and then touch behind. Keep working. You're on the clock. Precision is the name of the game. Touching in front of the pencil, touching behind the pencil, bracing your midsection. Almost there, gang. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Brutal. You have to thank my mentor, Hunter Cook, for this particular exercise. I straight up stole it from one of his Kinstretch classes. Thank you. All right, so setting up on your new side. Again, this hip is going to be different, so we're going to do our same tester rep. Get yourself into that nice 90-degree angle with the back trailing leg. Front leg doesn't have to be in perfect 90. You can see Will's pinching his heel a little closer to him. That's great if it feels better for you. Deep breath in, pack that air down. Try to rotate your ankle. See if you can lift your knee. Down, good. If it lifted a little bit, great. If it felt like a joke, scoot your hips a little further away from the couch. We want to find that place where it's like hilariously difficult, but not impossible. Okay, ready to go? Deep breath in, create that good intra-abdominal pressure, tension strategy. Press down on the couch, upper body strategy for tension. Rotate that ankle as high as you can get it off the floor. Come on. Then lift that knee. Hover over your pencil and lightly touch the ground, and then back. You're on the clock, team. Only 30 seconds. You can do anything for 30 seconds. Yes. Keep that ankle up. Ankle up. Keep twisting the thigh bone forward, trying to rotate that seam on your pants towards the front foot. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Spicy. All right, we're going to do one more set of those. So come on back to your original side. You should remember your setup pretty well here. But again, you can treat that first rep as your tester and make adjustments if you need to. Lock in that midsection tension. Rotate that back heel off the ground. Keep it there. Hover the knee. Tap in front of the pencil. Tap behind the pencil. Keep that ankle off the ground. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Ankle up, ankle up, ankle up. You got it, team. 3, 2, 1. Oh, even if you were in the exact same position, I think Will found the same ankle. He was getting less lift that time because those tissues are now fatigued, which is good. Progressive overload. It's happening. All right. Switch on over to the other side. Set up your pencil if you're using it or your imaginary pencil. Deep breath in. Pack that air down. Rotate the ankle off the floor first, really max that out, and then hover the knee up and over, touch down, up and over, touch down. Ankle higher than the knee the whole time. Come on, come on. Ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up. You got this, team. 5, ankle high. Keep it high, keep it high. Yes! 2, 1, and relax. Oh my goodness. That was so good. Yeah, it's worth saying that when you go to bring that leg forward, the ankle will want to drop. So that's why I was really cueing that time. Okay. Now we get to relax into a little bit of a stretch, which will feel like a gem. So switch sides once again, coming into that same 90-90. So just now we had you lean away from your trailing leg so that we could take you enough away from your end range of motion that you'd be able to get a little bit of a lift. We want to now get you as close to your end range as your body will allow so that we can do a little set of PAILs and RAILs there for rotation. So the hips will scoot closer to the couch potentially for most of us. And we're going to bias even more rotation by asking you to turn your belt buckle towards your trailing leg. The other way you can think about that is that you're trying to get your trailing leg butt cheek as close to the floor as you can get it. And Will, if you'll give a little it's an intimate space to touch one's business partner, but yeah, that you're really trying to bias rotation. So if you can peek at the camera, you can see Will doing this now. And find the stretches that you can feel. Yeah. And if you're feeling a great stretch, your first job here is just to do some down regulation breathing. So thinking slow inhale that allows your belly to expand, slower exhale that allows your belly to naturally contract in a non-effortful way. Where you feel this stretch is going to vary a lot for different people. And what I'd like to point out too, because we've done all this hip abduction work and now we're getting to our hip internal rotation, even if you're familiar with where you normally feel the hip internal rotation stretch, some different sensations of stretch might be available to you right now because we've got temporary permission from our nervous system to be in a more hip abducted position than our body normally allows.
I feel that for sure.
Yeah. So like what do you feel different than what you normally feel?
I have more sensation from this part of the joint. Usually I feel it more on this part of the joint.
Yeah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. And that might be different for you, but just inviting you to really tune into what feels different about this versus when I do other hip internal rotation 90-90 work. One more good calm breath. All right. So we are only going to do one set of PAILs and RAILs for internal rotation, but I want to really invite you to take that max effort moment very seriously. We've really primed this tissue. It's in a good, safe place, so give you a nice, strong max effort. But as always, safety is the most important thing. If you start to feel a sense of threat, it's too much, and you need to modulate there, yeah? All right. So, deep breath in. Pack that air down. Start making your knee and your ankle heavy into the floor. And then make the ankle heavier than the knee. Really bury that ankle into the ground so that you are trying to unrotate, but the floor is in the way. Start slowly ramping that up to 50% effort. Once you get to 50%, start ramping up to your 80% effort. Take your time, feel that effort spilling into the rest of the body. Keep thinking, rotate, 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 bury that ankle down, and then give me your greatest, safest effort now. Go, full body, everything, rotate, rotate. If I came over at home and tried to deadlift your ankle off the ground, I would not be able to budge it. Keep working for 3, 2, 1, switch to rails. Try to make your ankle as light as you can. And try to pull your butt cheek closer to the floor. Try to move the pelvis and move the thigh bone, both things that will get you more internal rotation. Max effort, lightest ankle you can possibly make, heaviest butt cheek for 5, 4, come on, 3, 2, stay in position, 1, slow as you can, melt that contraction away. Slowly, 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 like your volume dialing down, not flipping off the lights. And then take a few calm breaths before you come out of that position. Nice. Yeah. You can switch to the other side. I've been really enjoying slowly dialing down my rails contraction as a way to feel like I'm like reminding those muscles that tend to just be a little tight how to fully relax. So I'm curious if you can map onto that too. All right, other side. So again, you're gonna rotate your butt cheek as close to the floor as you can get it. You're gonna lean as much as you need to feel like there's no pinch or gnarliness in the front. And you're gonna start tuning in to what stretch sensations are available for you in this hip. Might be a totally different story than the other hip. And again, it might be different than other times that you've worked on hip internal rotation. So just see if you can suss that out for yourself. Take a deep breath in. Deep and full breath out. Couple more breaths in, allowing that breath to just expand your belly. Let it go. Let those belly muscles fully relax with your breath. Good. All right. One more deep breath to settle into the deepest stretch position you can find. And then we're going to set up for our last one set of PAILs and RAILs. So deep breath in here, pack some air into your belly, freeze frame that position. Start to make the knee and the ankle of your trailing leg heavy into the floor, just gently. Again, 5% or 5 extra pounds on the scale. Start making that ankle heavier than the knee. So you're working that rotational bias, rotational intention, trying to really recruit the muscles that rotate the hip in the socket. That's what we're really trying to talk to. And then as you feel that become clear in your body, start to ramp up to 50% of your possible effort. Slowly, dial it up. Good. As you find 50%, increase slowly, dialing up to 80%. Feel that contraction starting to spill over into the rest of your body. Let that happen. Recruit as many muscles as you can to help with this task. And then give me your greatest, safest effort. Bury that ankle in the floor. Go for it. That's it. Work hard. Come on. This is the good stuff. Dig deep. 5, 4, 3, 2, stay on tension. 1, reverse the rotation. Switch to that rails effort, trying to rotate your side seam forward to make your ankle light, trying to pull your butt cheek down towards the floor. Ankle light, butt cheek heavy, as hard as you can for 5. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow as you possibly can. Fade that away. Let it melt away. Enjoy that sensation. It's your prize for working hard in the PAILs and RAILs. Okay, great. So we're just going to retest / save and upload with our hip capsule cars from the beginning. So you're going to face your couch so that your belt buckle and your t-shirt logo are facing. Your knee, shin, and ankle are just barely on the edge of that couch. Brace your midsection. We're going to work for time here. Hover that knee. Good. And rotate. Ring out as much internal rotation as you can get. And then rotate in the opposite direction until your ankle runs into the couch. Back and forth like that. You're on the clock. Try to maintain whatever hover your knee has off the couch. So you can see my hand here. There's a little bit of space. And then we're working that thigh bone in the socket, maxing out rotation. This is amazing. You might notice some different sensations. You might notice more muscles come into the party. 3, 2, 1, and relax. You might also feel tired in those muscles because we've really worked them. Switch sides. Good. All right. Knee, shin, and ankle are on the couch. Spot check that belt buckle, t-shirt logo are facing straight towards the couch, not up towards the ceiling. Brace yourself. Hover that leg and ring out rotation. in one direction, and then ring out rotation in the other direction. Again, if your heel runs into the couch, just press it. Good, so nice. Halfway, keep breathing. Breathing to fuel that strong midsection that allows your hip to explore its freedom without anything else contributing. Ring it out. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Beautiful. All right, gang, we're gonna leave it there. If you have a little more time and you'd like to do your full side-lying hip cars again, that would be money. But in the interest of keeping this class a little shorter, we'll let you go for now. Have a great one. Can't wait to hear how this feels and any questions that you have.